Technology. Our objectives would be to understand the impact of technology to the individual and the society. Appreciate the technological advances in relation to medicine. Identify the pros and cons of technology on the different dimensions. Figure out the different issues associated with technology. Compare life and the environment before and after the onset of technology. According to V.F. Skinner, the real problem is not whether machines think, but whether men do. This time, as we can see around, man is becoming independent to machines or to the different technologies that we fail to think that we are still responsible for what's happening around us. We cannot rely everything to technology. As relational beings, we need to think more deeply for the betterment of the world and for the well-being of the people around us, as well as to the environment. In today's present age and generation, technology plays a crucial part in our society, but it doesn't mean that we just have to leave everything to the technology that we have created. Social media provides great way to connect with the people. You can upload love, you can download time, you can Google all of life's answers. You must actually live some of your life. It's important for us people to not be so much dependent on technology. It's not good for us to just face our gadgets or cell phones and social media without even going deeper to in our relationship with one another in a face-to-face encounter in our daily life. Technology is something good. It is actually from the Greek word technologia, meaning systematic treatment or science of craft. The branch of scientific knowledge that deals with the gathering and collection of skills, techniques, methods, systems, or processes that can be used in designing and creation of useful commodities such as goods and services, scientific investigations, and solving certain problems. Technology, the decisive and focused treatment of information and technical means whose objective is to generate practical, rational, and function with respect to their interaction with or interrelation with life, society, environment, the use of science in industrial arts, engineering, and applied science, as well as of pure science. These are machineries and devices cultivated, expanded, and built from scientific knowledge. What are the benefits of technology? One is that it's capable and proficient to carry out daily errands or chores quicker, adapt to administer and treat information and records for presence and more importantly for future purposes. Facilitates easy access to information either in the aspects of education or learning or entertainment. Pros and cons of technology. Increased production, increased returns on investment, easy access to information without care. Those are the positive side of what technology has brought to us. However, the negative side is that it also introduces birth to destructive weapons, a social divide, technology dependent and addiction, as well as generation of laziness. Through technology, people are already becoming lazy. They let technology do things for themselves or for us without even us doing something active. Industrial technology uses of engineering and manufacturing technology to make production faster, simpler, and more efficient. Technology and social media brought tremendous impact in terms of communication. We have different social media platforms which we use to connect all around the world with our relatives, with our friends, and even to those people who are stranger to us. Health and medical care was also greatly improved because of technology. Way back before, there was no medical treatment for tuberculosis, for HIV, or any other popular illnesses or diseases. But because of technology, we are given access to those health and medical cares. It's right, technology is costly. As observed, technology created a generation of laziness. Innovation is indeed good, but when gadgets quickly becomes obsolete because more efficient models or versions were introduced and people are not so practical and economical because they want to possess the latest even if the old gadget is still very much working. Then landfills are filled up with no longer used gadgets that may cause harm to the environment. This is true to most of us. If, for instance, we have new versions of cellular phones, though we still have old ones, we would rather choose to buy a new one and throw the old ones. So if all of us are doing this kind of practices, then our landfills will be full of a lot of gadgets, garbages that may cause harm to the environment. So let's try to reflect on what we can do to contribute for the solution rather than being a cause of this harm because to the environment. Let's try to use things responsibly. Use of technology to create weapons for mass destruction. This is something they're really very terrifying, especially to countries that are in war against each other. We have, for instance, in the past, the uh, the bombing, okay, using mass destruction or create weapons for mass destruction, using atomic bomb, for example, uh, to Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan as a form of retaliation by the American nation. This is a sad reality. Instead of using technology for the common good, we use it to destroy each other. Use of nuclear weapons has been around since the mid of 20th century, instigated under severe comprehensive armed and military demands. All living creatures and all resources will be affected with the misuse of technology. Technology issues, we have these following years, preference of technology, provisions technology transfer, foreign technology acquisition, as well as generating local capability. Summing up, before, okay, environment before technology, right? So we are enjoying how fresh the environment was, how enjoyable it is to do walking stuff with our families, okay, with our fellow children, with those people whom we used to grow up with. The air was still fresh. The environment is so friendly, and we are so friendly to the environment. It was before the onset of technology. But what happens after environment, after technology? We have pollutions around. We cannot even go out not wearing masks, for example, because of the pollution caused by the use of technology. Smoke's coming from the factory and many others. Message advice to ponder from the great Albert Einstein. According to him, I fear the day when technology overlaps our humanity. It will be then that the world will have permanent ensuing generations of idiots. I hope this is not going to happen in our generation or the generations to come. That it will be responsible enough in the use of technology and being responsible as well to the environment. Right? Those are the words of Albert Einstein. Synopsis below may be a good illustration of what are the impacts of technology to the once simple life of Juan de la Cruz. Before, Juan de la Cruz will climb the stairs, perspire in the process, and readily continue to breathe fresh air. Now, he opted to take either the elevator or the escalator. Simple applications for this that we still think appear as a healthier choice. Of course, that was the time when Juan de la Cruz used to climb the stairs, perspire in the process, and readily continue to breathe fresh air. Before Juan de la Cruz comes home from work, he takes time to be with his kids, learn how they spend their day, and has time with his wife also. Bonding time is always a priority. But what happens now? He comes home and immediately glues himself to the television set and even miss dinner because it is the NBA championship games. Which do you think is more productive way for Juan de la Cruz to spend his time after work? It is of course the time when Juan de la Cruz comes home from work, takes his time to be with his kids, learn how to spend their day, and it's a time with his wife also. So there is time for the family to bind together. Before, Juan de la Cruz's son comes home from school and start doing his homework. Once finished, he assists his mother in a simple chores at the kitchen. What happens now is that the son comes home, throws his bag at his side, and reaches for his electronic devices and engrosses himself in all sorts of games for several hours. Which scenario do you favor? It would be more likely before the onset of technology, when Juan de la Cruz's son comes home from school and starts doing his homework. And by that way, Juan de la Cruz's son is showing being responsible to his studies. And he also helped his mother in simple chores in the kitchen rather than playing with his gadgets and wasting time. Let's try to make use of technology for the betterment of the human society and that of the environment before it will be too late.